Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I am here, Michael. Um, Sorry for the mix up of the dates. I was supposed to go live on the 10th, but I was out of town, sort of, kind of. Not out of state, but I was like some hours away, enjoying jazz in the gardens in Miami. Had a really good time. Saw a lot of artists that I love, so I was happy about that. But I'm here today, y'all. I am here today, and boy, do I have some information to share with you. First, let me get my talking points up, introduce myself, and then we're going to get right into it. Let's see. Oh, did I not do that? Not do the 3-2. Nope, I was supposed to go live 3:10. So let's see what my talking points are. Wow. What's going on? Okay, let's see. Mm, Let me find it. But that'll give you guys some time to get on. Let's see. Maybe I didn't. Let's see. I'm just looking for my talking points, guys, because you know how I can get. I'll start talking and everything will be all over the place. Nope. Oh, darn. Can't find it. Oh, okay. Let me see. We got some new scenes over here. I see StreamYard has updated some of their stuff. All right, let's see. Yes, this is what I wanted. All right. YouTube Live 3 1625. All right, I'm ready. All right, so hi everyone, happy Sunday. Sorry I missed you last week. I was enjoying myself in Miami with Jazz in the Gardens. Um, for those of you who are new joining the channel, my name is Bergeau. You may also refer to me as B. Elise. I am the owner of B. Elise Notary Services and the Notary Education Group. Every Sunday, at least I try every Sunday, to come here live to talk to you guys about business topics, notary topics, share some tips, and answer your questions in real time. So let's get into my topic for today. So the cost of poor business etiquette and organization, it can cost you big time in your business. And I'm going to share a story with you guys before I get into some of my talking points. So um, this past week, I needed a notary in another state to obtain a apostle for my customer. And so um, I reached out to my support group. Those of you who are not in there, get in there, please, because I'm always looking for notaries to do some type of job or whatever. Looked at my support group, asked, I was provided with a couple of notaries in that state that I can contact. So I went ahead and contacted a notary, and I asked them, well, I introduced myself and told them I had been referred to them by another notary. And so first off, they were just like, okay, which is number one. First impressions are everything, guys. Okay. Your first impression will immediately let a person know whether or not they want to work with you. So if you answer your phone and you're not even sounding like you're welcoming new business, that's a big, turn off for a customer. Um, Especially when I'm the customer. I'm a very picky customer. I tell you guys this all the time. I have my business set up with me as the customer because I know how picky I am. So number one, I did not like the tone. I did not like the greeting. So anyway, I proceeded on to let the person know I am looking to get an apostle for my customer from the state that they're in. And I wanted to know what was the fee for that. And so they said it was $200. And so I was like, okay, well, what does that include? I told them it was a marriage license. So it's one document. I just needed to get apostled. And the reason why I wanted to find someone in that state versus me mailing it is because when you have somebody there to be your eyes and ears when you can't be, it really helps the transaction run a whole lot smoother. Okay. So this is why I was in search of a notary in that state. So they said the $200 included them getting the document, taking the document to the Secretary of State, waiting for the document to be apostilled, and then getting the document back to me. And so I was hoping that within that $200 also included, maybe the shipping or whatever. No, the shipping and everything would have been extra. They literally just wanted me to send them the document and they go and do all of that and they wanted $200 for that. And so because I'm a business person, and I understand that everybody's fees is everybody's fees. That's what it is. So I communicated that information back to my customer, let them know that it will be $200 for the person who I called. And so um, I went ahead and dug a little deeper because I know how important it is for my customers to get this document. They're going to be relocating somewhere out of the country, so they need this document to be with them when they go for their interview for residency or whatever. I guess that's what they do in that country. So I went on the state's website and I looked to see if they offer any expediting services, which is really important. I'm going to tell you why. So I saw that they offer expediting services. And so I forwarded the link to the website with the information that I found to my customers. So I gave them two options, okay, which is really important. Sometimes having more than one option helps your customer make the best decision. Even if neither decision worked and he decided that he didn't want to work with me, at least he knew that I did my, research to be able to help him in the best way possible. Okay. Because that's the type of service provider that I am. All right. So he weighed his options and he decided that he would prefer for me to mail the documents. He would pay for the expediting, he would pay for the shipping, and he would pay for my facilitation fee because I'm facilitating all of this and doing all this research, right? And so I'm like, all right, cool. I followed the instructions because the instructions to get apostles from every state, guys, is on their website, I swear. So it's no secret sauce to this. If you know how to read and you know how to follow instructions, then you would be able to facilitate getting an apostle for your customer. Okay. Now, you don't have to have any special training or special certification to obtain an apostle for your customer. The most important thing is that you have to make sure that the documents are prepared correctly and that you're sending them to the right place. Hi, Michael. My customer came to me. They said they needed to get a marriage license apostilled in Florida. And so when they brought me the marriage license, I saw that the marriage license was not originated in Florida. All right, Florida did not issue this marriage license. It was another state. So this is why the apostle request had to go to another state. It could not go to Florida. Now, if it was just a general document that I notarized, then the document would go to Florida because the apostle is basically just authenticating the notary. That's all it is. It's making sure that the document is completed correctly if it did have to be notarized, and then making sure that that notary is active in the system with the state. Bam. And then they issue the apostle. So it's not, a grueling process or anything like that. But anyway, I saw they offered expedite. I followed the instructions. I mailed my customers' documents off. Now, I think I mailed it off on the 6th or the 7th of March. I got his documents back Thursday, I think. Nope, I got it back Wednesday. It was the 12th, I think. So I got their documents back pretty quick. All I did was fill out the form, and I made sure that I included a FedEx envelope with a label so that they could just put the apostle back in the new envelope and send it back to me. I included the check for the fee that they wanted, and that was it. All right, so easy peasy. I also had to do an apostle for Florida. So this person needed two apostles. They needed a translation apostled that I notarized the translation for. So of course they had to go to Florida. But the marriage license was for another state, so I had to go to that other state. So I got the one from the other state back sooner than the one from Florida. Can you believe it? But Florida doesn't have an expedite service. So, it's first come, first serve. When they get it, they get it. So I do have a courier in Florida. So I sent it to her. She dropped it off and picked it up the next day. So that's kind of why that happened that way. She doesn't wait in there. She drops it off and she picks it up. She knows the people in there or whatever. And so she mailed it back the same day she picked it up. So, and I don't know why when things get mailed from Florida, they go outside the state of Florida and then back in the state. Like it's really weird how that goes. But in any event, I wanted to share that story with you guys because you need to make sure you're doing your research, okay? We cannot just come up with fees for our services, okay? You you can't just wake up one day and then come up with a magical number. That's not how the market goes. You have to do a market analysis, okay? If I worked in that state, I would look and see how much it costs a person because don't forget, they do not need us to get an apostle for them. They just prefer us to do it because they want to make sure it's done right and they don't want to take out the time to do it right or get it done right, right? So if you do your market analysis and I see that for them to get an apostle done for themselves cost this amount, I'm probably going to make it around that amount. Like the cost that notary gave me was well above what the price would be for the person to get their own apostle. It cost that man $95 to get an apostle just for me to mail it and get it back. And the notary wanted 200. You see what I mean? Like it's just way more than what it should be, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm not telling anybody how to run their business. Your fee is your fee. And if the person agrees to it, the person agrees to it. But you have to also keep in mind that the only way you're going to stay in business is by getting repeat business, okay? Getting a whole lot of people that you only see one time and never use again, they never use you again, it's really not going to be beneficial for your business. It's just not, all right? So, and then first impressions are everything. Okay. For me to make that phone call, if you call me and you tell me somebody referred you, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, that's great. Who was it? Who referred you? All right. Well, that's awesome. Well, how can I help you? What did you need to get done? You hear how happy I am to hear that you freaking called me? That's how you need to be when you answer your phone. You don't need to answer your phone. Hello, so and so. Oh, I was referred to you by so and so. Oh, okay. What kind of response is that? Are you a business? Do you want business? You see what I'm saying? You need to be happy. When somebody called my business phone, I'm happy because I want your business. And I understand as a business owner that first impressions are everything. All right. Professionalism. Okay, it's another one. Professionalism builds trust and credibility. Now, for those of you who watched my video, I was telling you that I was called um, for an after-hour job to a hospital to get some documents notarized. And I went ahead and did it. All right. And when I got there, I wasn't mad. I wasn't irritated. Oh, it's after hours. I don't want to be here. I wasn't none of that. I smiled. I introduced myself and, you know, we got it done. You know what I mean? Even in the most critical situation, we're in a hospital and a person is not doing well, that person that was in the hospital. Okay. And so much so, the person has been transported to, they were transferred to hospice. And I don't work on Saturdays, but yesterday they called me again. They asked me if I can come to the hospice to notarize and sign some other documents. And so I said, yeah, I said, today is my day off, but I will absolutely do it. But I do want to let you know that I am not dressed in my professional attire that I usually am dressed in because it is my day off. So I do want to um, just give you a heads up. And they're like, no, we totally understand. We appreciate you coming on your off day and we get it. You're off. You're not dressed for work. We still know that you are a professional. And so I was like, well, thank you. I just didn't want to walk up in there. I had on some ripped jeans and a t-shirt and my little tennis shoes, so I don't want to walk up in there the day before, well, not the day before, right? What was it? Was it maybe Thursday? I come with my nice polo on, I got my slacks on, my nice shoes, and that day Saturday I came in with, something totally opposite. So, but yeah, professionalism helps build trust. They wanted to work with me again because I showed up and I serviced them in a professional way. And so they felt like they could trust me and that I already know the situation. The person who is not doing well has already seen me, so it's not going to be another stranger coming up to them, other than, the doctors, whatever. But they were happy to see me in the most sensitive and serious, circumstances. Another thing, be organized. I can't stress that enough. An unorganized business is a business that I don't really care to work for. Let me tell you why. I have organization in my business. Any process that I create for myself has to run smoothly. Anytime I notice any inefficiencies, I'm on it immediately to take care of that because I coin myself on being a stress-free experience for you. Okay. It's not going to be a stress-free experience if I have stress. Okay. That's not how that works. Okay. I have to be stress-free so that I can give the customer a stress-free experience. So this is why I have to make sure that I maintain organization and efficiency in my services that I provide. And you all should be doing the same. Okay. So preventing costly mistakes. In my video, I told you that a signing service called me to do this signing for the individual in the hospital. And I already know what the type of document they wanted me notarized requires. Okay. So first off, I'm like, okay, the person is in the hospital. The first thing I'm thinking of is, are they in their right mind? Can they make legal decisions for themselves? Has a doctor deemed them incapable of doing such? Like, I just need to know what's the details on this. The person is in their right mind. All right. This type of document requires witnesses that cannot have any beneficial interest, cannot be listed as a signing party or a recipient in the transaction period. So we got to make sure that the witnesses are not the signer's parent, spouse, or child. All right. They had that. Well, they checked and then they were like, okay. So they ended up getting their neighbors to come up to the hospital, which was awesome. And then I needed to know what was going on? Is this something that I need to be, is it isolation? Do I have to make sure I got on a mask, a suit? Like what we got going on? I need to know. Okay, because I need to be prepared when I go into this facility. Whenever you're coming into a medical facility, you got to be prepared. All right. You're going to probably see some things, hear some things, smell some things that you don't really want to. Um, my background is medical, so I just so happen to know that because I've worked in hospitals and clinics and so forth. So I was prepared. The documents were not ready, but I was en route. I got there. I had to print the documents from my trunk. All right. It's very important that you make sure that all your equipment is ready to go at all times. Okay. I don't, I won't say I don't. Well, no, I don't do a whole lot of printing out my trunk, but I do have to print out my trunk sometimes. Okay. So when I got there, I had to print the documents out my trunk. So I'm in the parking lot of this hospital, print documents out in the dark. Okay. The hospital lot is pretty lit, so I'm not completely in the dark, but it's nighttime. All right. And I got it done. And customers are always so surprised at how well equipped I am for the job that I do. But that's important. Hi, Denise. If you're going to represent yourself as whatever, you need to make sure you show up as that. First impressions, and I'm going to keep saying this, first impressions are everything. Everything to a person who is going to pay you for a service, okay? They need to be able to trust you right off the bat. And I know you're like, well, that don't really make sense. It does. I need to be able to know that when I meet you, you're professional, you talk like you know what you're doing, and you got what you need to get the job done. I do need to, and at first impression, I trust you unless you give me a reason not to. That's pretty much how it goes. All right. Now, business etiquette. Y'all know I have a free course for that, right? Not a whole lot of people take it because a lot of people don't care about their business etiquette. They like, I just want to show up and get the money. I don't care if they like me. I don't care if they think that I'm professional. I don't care if they think I know what I'm doing. I just want to get the money. And that's really a bad etiquette to have as being a business owner. Okay. Um, you wouldn't do that for a company you're working for because you would be afraid that you were going to get fired, right? Well, you shouldn't do that in your business because then customers are not going to want to work with you. And remember, bad news spreads faster than good news. All right. So if people have a bad experience with you, they're going to share that with everybody. All right. And if you are in a community that where you're listed under Google and people can share your Google listing and say, I worked with this notary before, you don't want to work with this notary, even if they don't leave a review. Because some people, they'll just be like, I had a bad experience. I don't even care to leave a review because it was just that bad. You know what I'm saying? Some people just don't take out the time. But what they will do is share it still with their friends and family. They will remember you on Google and they will share it. So, do yourself, you know, a favor and try to make sure that you are showing up and presenting yourself in a professional way. Remember, you are the face of your company. Now, poor communication. I can't express enough how irritating that can be, poor communication. Even when I work with people, if you are telling me that you're open for business and I reach out to you and you don't respond in a timely manner, I'm going to go to the next person. Because if you are saying that you're available for work, you need to be responsive. Even if you can't answer the phone, you should be able to respond by text. They got that option on iPhone and Android. Respond by text. Let them know, hey, I'm busy right now. I can't answer the call. I'll call you back. As opposed to just not answering your phone. Have your phone on do not disturb. Have your phone on vibrate. This is supposed to be you want to get work, but you can't be reached. That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. You're not going to get any work if you can't be reached. How are you going to get the work? You don't respond to emails. You don't respond to text messages. You don't respond to phone calls. Another thing, being late or missing appointments. There's no excuse. Nobody can read your mind. When you have an appointment with a customer, you need to text them when you're on your way or give them a call. Hey, I'm on my way. Give them your ETA. People appreciate that, whether you do it by text or phone call or email. You just need to do it. Okay. I wasn't so great at that in the beginning, but I am better at it now because it's probably because I'm working this full time. That's another thing. When you have people who are just saying they got a side gig or side hustle, nobody takes you seriously when you say that. Because to me, the side gig or side hustle means that you work it when you feel like it. So that means if you don't feel like making money today, you're not going to answer the phone. But I really need you. But I'm not going to answer the phone. I don't feel like working today. This is just a side gig for me, so I don't have to. And then to me, that means I don't ever have to call you again for work. And then you're looking months down the line. Hey, you used to call me all the time for work. What happened? You don't answer your phone. You don't answer your phone. You don't communicate at all. I don't want to work with people like that. I need to know that you can do the work. I need to know that if you're busy, I need to know. If you're not answering the phone and you're not at least texting back, hey, I'm busy right now. If I send you an email, I mean, how many other ways am I supposed to reach you? If you're working with me and you know that I get busy and I need you, how many ways am I supposed to be able to reach you so I can give you this money? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work with you so I can give you some money. How many of y'all need money? And if you don't need it, how many want money? How many of y'all want money? Can y'all drop in the comments? Say, I want some money because I want some money. So I'm going to answer my phone. I'm going to respond by text if I can't answer the phone. And if I am near my email, I'm going to shoot you an email back. This is why I have all my notifications on for every email. Any email that comes through, I get a notification that an email has arrived because I never know if that email is important or not. So I need to be notified of every email that hits my box. Communication is so important, guys. All right. Being late or missing appointments. I'll tell you this and then I'm going to move on to my next topic. What I teach my kids: if you arrive on time, you late. If you arrive early, you on time. That's what I tell my kids. All right, Michael said he wants some money. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. All right. Failing to show appreciation. No thank you emails, lack of gratitude. So I have set up in my bookkeeping. Whenever I receive a check, the person gets an email saying, your payment was received. Thank you so much for working with me. Okay. Now I have this automated. Up, Denise said it too. So I need some money. There you go. So what we're going to do, we're going to make sure that we have all of our channels of communication open, right? And we're going to respond no matter what. If you're busy, text and say, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'll return your call. And remember, I showed you guys how to customize that in your phone. I'm sorry, I'm with a customer right now. I'll call you back as soon as I can, or whatever you wanted to say. You can save it in your phone. You see a call coming through, you can't answer it. Click on message if you got an iPhone. Select the respond by text, send, and then put the phone back down and get back to what you're doing. Easy peasy. Now, for those of you who work a job where you can't bring your phone in, there's really no way that you can do that. But for those of you who, I know a lot of people that work from home. So even if you're in a meeting, you could click your phone. You see this? You can't see what I'm doing with my hands. I'm clicking my phone, all this stuff. I could look down for a little bit, look back up. Still on a meeting. They don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah, we got to get better for that. And we got to get better with showing appreciation. All right. I've had my clients respond back to me like, you know what, I really love working with you because you are just so thoughtful. Nobody else sends these thank you emails. And although it's nothing really, but it's the small things that make you stand out. It makes you stand out. I decided to do that just because I saw it was available in my email, I mean, in my bookkeeping. And people, they know they're going to get it and they always respond. It's really funny. Next, how disorganization can cost you money, right? Some of you guys do not track the things that you need to be tracking, right? And it's a poor excuse to say, I don't have time, I don't want to do that. You have a business. You got to track everything, okay? Everything needs to be tracked. I paid my witnesses last month over $700. You think I don't have that tracked? I need to track all that money, money going in, money coming out. I have to track all of it. And it has to be categorized, it has to be itemized so that when I generate reports, all of my reports make sense. Okay? I was just talking to one of my friends today because as much as I talk about being organized, sometimes I could fall off. I'm human. I had not checked on my state approved courses since last year. I just so happened to go in there um, Friday, I think it was, and I found out that my slides the links were broken for all of my slides. So anyone who took any of my state courses, all they were seeing were the tests. And I don't know why people do this. Nobody said nothing. They just took the test, got their certificate, and applied for their commission so they could be a notary. And I'm like, I guess to them, they're like, oh, this is easy. Like, I don't care as long as I can just take the test and get the certificate. But it does make sense for you to let me know because you need to know the information. All right. We have too many notaries who don't know what they're doing simply because they don't want to review their state statutes or the state guidelines that are provided to them. That's just too much to read. Yeah, but then when you fudge up people's documents just simply because you didn't want to read, it says a lot about you as a person. So I had to go in there and I had to, I think it was the two state approved courses that I have, because I have the traditional and I have the online notary courses that are approved by the state. And then I think it was like two or three other courses where the links were broken for these slideshows. I was so devastated. So I had to go in there and fix it. It's all fixed now. But had I I have to put myself on a schedule. And that's another thing. Anything that's on my calendar gets done. I have to put that on my calendar. I need to check every month that all my courses are working where they're supposed to be working because um, for courses that are paid, that could be really crappy for the person who paid their money. But even for the free courses, I have them for free because I want y'all to take them, but I need for you to take them to get the information. So if this information is not there because the links are broken, then you're not going to get the information. Okay, so yes, so time blocking. Okay, for those of you who have a hard time with organizing things, you can time block it. If you're the type of person that uses a digital calendar or a paper calendar, you need to make sure that you are blocking out time to do the things you need to do. Okay, because if you are not tracking invoices, you're not tracking important client information and requests, then people are not going to want to work with you. And that's just how it is. And if you're not tracking invoices, you're not going to get paid. What if somebody forget to pay you? How would you know? You need to have something in place to make sure that you're tracking invoices. You guys know I use Zoho. So in Zoho Books, I get a notification when an invoice is past due. All right. Everybody has different payment terms. Some people pay me, right after the signing is complete. Some people pay me in a week, 2 weeks, 30 days, 37 days, 45 days. I even have a 60-day payer. So I need to make sure that I'm tracking all these invoices because I'm not going to remember off the top of my head who owes me and who doesn't. But in my bookkeeping, it does. It turns red when people owe me, turns yellow when they've been late just a couple of days, and it's in green when it's in good standing. Uh, Wasted time leading to reduced productivity and lower earnings. That's another thing. So I know people really love to be on social media. I'm one of those people too. But you need to make sure that you make time for your business. If you calculate how much time you spend on social media versus how much time you spend in your business, that will give you a reality check. Like, dang, I could have been doing XYZ. Like me, not checking my site for those courses. Yeah. Or another one that I did bad on, my mileage and my stamps. I have reports for that, but both of those reports were manual for me. Okay. So I did go ahead and try to automate that a little bit. When I do my invoices, I'm able to put in how many stamps I did for that transaction so that I can generate a report. The only thing is I have to have an additional report because I didn't put on there to differentiate the mobile stamps and the online stamps because those prices are different. So I still end up having a separate report for that, and I just have to remember to put the numbers in. So I write them out here, and then I have to put them in, and when I'm done putting them in, I just check them off. Okay. Now for my mileage, I finally have that automated. So for those of you who are using Mile IQ, is it called Miles IQ or Mile IQ? Well, I'm using that now. And I had heard about it before, but sometimes I don't like to change up what I'm doing because if it's working for me, it's like, why do I have to change it? But it's really hard because I'm starting to take more mobile notary appointments. And, although I still do a lot of online, I do. I do more online than I do in person. But when I'm in person, and if I'm out, I'm trying to think, I had one day last week where I had, I think, four in-person notary appointments, and then the other three or four were online. So I had a half and half. That was a lot of damn driving. And when I got home, the last thing I was thinking about was doing some mileage report. No, I was exhausted. Okay. Because nowadays, my new norm is 8 appointments in a day, which I'm very blessed and grateful for that. It used to be 6 appointments, but now 8 appointments in a day is becoming my new norm. And your girl be tired. Okay, so I'm not doing no report. I end up having to do it in the end of the week. Then that means I have to go back in my calendar and write out all these addresses and where I went, and then trying to remember, did I go to UPS before or after I went to this? So, in any event, Mile IQ, I went ahead and subscribed. I did their trial, okay, which is, it's not a trial. You can just use it for free if you want to, but it only records 40 trips a month for free. And I don't really know how many trips I'm going to be making. So I went ahead and paid for it. I think it's $8 a month or something like that. That's not even a whole lot. I could have paid for annual. Actually, annual was $89.99, which is nothing, but I didn't pay for that. So using Mile IQ, all I got to do is tell it whether or not this trip was personal or business, and then I can generate a report of all my business trips for the month, and I can upload that to my bookkeeping. So I'm really excited about that. So if you guys aren't using that, Mile IQ will help you keep track of your mileage. Okay. Clients perceiving you as unreliable and going elsewhere. When I go to networking events, I hear all about the horror stories that people have experienced with other notaries. And being unreliable It's one of them. Yeah. I even had a guy, he told me that he invited a notary to the networking event, and the notary wouldn't answer their call. Wouldn't answer their call. So, yeah, and I know for those of you who are watching me, those of you who I know who are here all the time, Michael and Denise, I know that that's not y'all. I know that y'all are professional and y'all answer the phone. And, if you can't answer the phone, I know you respond. I know that. But you do have some people who fit the description of what this guy at the networking event told me. And it's sad because when I see notaries saying there's no work out here and ain't nobody making no money as a notary, I don't see why people are trying to become a notary. No, there's just not enough reliable notaries. So if we can get enough reliable notaries, we all gonna be making money. Okay. And we can just leave the ones who are not reliable, the ones who are not, good with communicating, the ones who are not professional, the ones who are showing up and don't have their supplies. My friend, she did a closing on her home a couple of years ago, and that notary literally had to come back and mess the documents up both times. Just, you know, had another notary show up with no ink pens. The signer said they walking around for like the first 10 minutes of their appointment trying to find blue ink pens. Who has blue ink pens? Not a lot of people have blue ink pens at their home. I wish I was making this stuff up, but I'm not. So yeah, we have to make sure that we are ready to work when we show up, guys. All right. If you are advertising that you're in business, make sure that you are ready to accept calls. Make sure that when you accept calls that you're ready to work. I mean, I don't know how else to say that. You want to use calendars to schedule and um, track appointments. All right. In your calendars, you should have reminders. All right. Because we can get busy. The first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I check my calendar to see what I got going on. I check my email. Then I make me some food and I know that's backwards. It's like, well, why wouldn't you get up and I don't know. It's just my office is right before I get to the kitchen, so it's like a beeline right here to the office. But in any event, you should be having a calendar, right? Whether you use pen and paper or your phone or your computer, tablet, whatever. You should be tracking your appointments. Every appointment should make it on your calendar. Also, because you want to be able to go back. When I have people witness for me, because not all my witnesses are notaries. When I have people witness for me, I have to send out calendar invites for each appointment. That's the only way that I can keep track of who I owe for what. Because sometimes if I have a busy day, I forget to put it into my bookkeeping under their name. Sometimes I do remember, sometimes I don't remember. So if I didn't remember, I can go back in my calendar and see who I use on what day so I can make sure I pay them accordingly. I pay my witnesses every Friday, like clockwork. And that's before I get paid. Okay. I have to wait till, however many days to be paid for them, but they get paid every Friday. So it's important that I keep track of that because I don't want to overpay or underpay anybody. All right. So you hear all this tracking I got to do because I'm a business owner and I'm a professional. I have to keep track of everything. And so this is important for you to do too. Because if you don't, you're going to just be losing money. You're going to lose money. You can't keep track of invoices so you don't know who owe you when. You can't keep track of appointments so you're not showing up or you're barely showing up. I mean, come on, honestly. You want to be in business, you got to get organized. All right. You want to develop a routine because when you decide to have a business, you are taking on these responsibilities, and these responsibilities need to take some type of priority in your life. Okay. Even if you were doing notary part-time while you're working full-time, you need to prioritize your life around that. And I know it can be difficult. I know some people who just don't have a life in order at all. So that's something that you need to think about when you decide that you want to become a business owner. Maybe you can't do it. Maybe you're going to have to hire somebody to do it for you. In any event, it does have to get done. Okay. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to share with you guys? Talking about the apostles. Oh yeah. So for those of you who, because I did have somebody reach out to me. I had two people. They wanted to know how do they get into the apostles. I have a free course. I have a free course. All you have to do is request access to it. You go to my website, www.thenotaryeducationgrp.com, and go to the courses tab and find apostles and more and click on it and request access, and I will give you the access to that course. Okay. It is very simple to do. Every state has their own guidelines, so you want to make sure that you are checking those states out before you decide to facilitate apostles for it. Um, if you run into a situation like I did, double check and see if they offer expedite service. All right, because I didn't even know that was a thing, simply because I've only done apostles for Florida for many years. And so, me doing apostle for another state and seeing that they offer expedite and seeing that I got those documents back that quick, now I'm going to go through and I'm going to double check from now on to see, let me see if this state offers expedite service before I try to call another notary and see if they can be my runner. Because that's a game changer right there. Okay. In my library, for those of you who have access to it, I do have a document in there that has the link to every state Secretary of State webpage. So I had to rename it because I'm like, I know I have this document, but it was named Index of something. So I changed it. I think I put on there SOS by state or something like that, but it's under the knowledge base folder. So go under, or is it? I think it is under knowledge base folder, and you will find it. And for those of you who don't have access to my library, I'm pretty sure you can Google and find the document, um, or somebody may have made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make it easy for y'all, because for those of you who don't have access to my library, you got to pay to access it. You pay a one-time fee and you can access it forever. But for those of you who don't want to pay, just Google a list of state websites or something like that. And I'm pretty sure you can make your own. You know what I'm saying? I try to make sure that I don't just direct everybody to my stuff, because I do charge a fee for some of my stuff. My member library, I work hard to put information in there. So the stuff I put in there, if you feel like you don't want to pay me for it, you don't have to. But for those of you who do have access, anything that I create for me is in there for you. All right, so just go to the library and click and get access to that document and download it. Make sure you download it so you can keep the copy. Okay. Um, Another thing I want to share with you guys is my books. Okay. My friends chew me out all the time. They're like, you're always on here live and you got all these wonderful books. And my friends, they support me. They bought my books, what I'm saying, which I thank you guys for that. And I know I don't share it enough because I try not to use my live with you guys to sell to you. You know what I mean? But it is available, and I got some really good things coming up in store. I had a um, notary supplier reach out to me. All right, and a lot of you already know who it is, but I ain't gonna spill the beans just yet. They are going to be providing supplies for my academy. So I'm super excited about it. They're also going to list my journal, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to offer a notary bundle to where everybody who gets commission through me, they can order this notary bundle. Okay, so it'll have the journal, stamp, and a nice little notary pouch for you to keep things in. So let me show you the journals that are going to be on there. Going to be this first journal, right? This is general notary setup in this journal. And if you go to my website under my notary shop, I have screenshots of what these books look like on the inside because Amazon, it takes too long to even have that available. I have the one that does have the signing agent set up that people enjoy. So got this one. And this one has another format for signing agent, but it's a little different than the others. So each book has a different format that you may like. And the fun part about it is you don't have to buy it to figure out what it is. You go to my website, you look inside the book, and you can see what those formats look like. So you can choose which notary journal will work best for you. Those will be the three that will be listed. I have these old journals that I just really want to just give away. I don't have these anymore. So if you're interested, I'll literally just give it to you. I always order my own stuff because I like being able to have my own books in print. And then don't forget, if you took my general notary course, I have this general notary workbook. It has activities in it, and yeah, a lot of people like this book. I had this book that I came out with. This is Business Success Affirmations. All that notaries want to know when you're getting started with being a notary without all the fluff. And yeah, so if you guys are interested in any of those books, you can check them out on our website under shop. And when my notary supplier gets all of the items that I told him I want in the store for you guys, then I am going to be listing it on my website. Thank you, Michael. I'm really excited about it because I wanted to find someone who could supply notary supplies to you guys. And they found me on YouTube. They found my YouTube channel and they reached out to me and asked me, do I offer supplies? And I'm like, right now, the notary bundle that I was offering you guys was on Amazon. So you could buy it off Amazon and I would get like a little bitty kickback off of that, which wasn't a whole lot. And so they were telling me that they can do that for me and they could do custom stamps for me. And so I'm really excited about it. Really excited. I can't wait to share with you guys. So that was all I have for tonight. One thing I want you guys, I want to reiterate. Please, please don't let poor business etiquette and organization make you lose money. All right. I saw somebody posted in a group. They said, would you rather have 1,000 one-time customers or 100 loyal customers? I would like to hear what you guys think about that. I'm going to type it in here. What did I say? 1,000 one-time customer, 100 loyal. I honestly would like to know. My answer was 100 loyal customers. Because I have probably that many loyal customers, I get the opportunity to have more than 1,000 one-time customers simply through my 100 loyal customers because they refer me word of mouth all the time. I did I did an I did an online notary Friday after I left that hospital simply because they were referred to me because I did a closing for somebody they knew. And they found me on Notary Stars, of all places. I had never gotten a lead on Notary Stars. But The person who I did work with, I think they left me a review on Notary Stars, and that's where they told them to find me. And they found me. So let me tell you, I'll take loyal customers any day. Michael agrees, and Denise agrees. Exactly. Loyal customers all day. So with me doing that, my next live is going to be more interactive. So just how I posed that question, I'm going to have a bunch of questions that I'm going to ask you guys, and I want to get your feedback about it, and then I want us to talk about it. All right? What do you guys think about that? You think that'll be fun? I think it'll be fun. It'll give you guys the opportunity to not just sit there and listen to me talk. So yes, I agree. And I'm a part of the Alignable app. If you guys are not familiar, Mike will like that. Okay, cool. And they always share a bunch of really good topics in there. So I'm gonna take some of their topics, and then I'm going to ask y'all those questions next week. So y'all make sure y'all come so that we can talk about some stuff, because you'll be surprised at how people answer, and you may get some answers to those questions that may spike your interest and maybe something that you may want to look further into or maybe introduce into your own world of business, right? All right, guys, so I'm going to go. Thank y'all for tuning in. I will keep you guys, okay, Denise, good. I will keep you guys updated on my notary supplier and when I'll be listing him on his information on the site. And don't forget, check out the books. If you don't need a journal, share it with your, excuse me, other notary buddies. I have a business etiquette course for free on my website. So if you need some business etiquette help, take the course, man. You won't be disappointed. All right. So good night, everyone, and have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.